In April of 1994, teenager Brian Canfield was driving at night out on the back roads of Pierce County, Washington, when his engine would give out. Canfield wasn't sure why his truck suddenly died, and being miles from civilization, attempted to start the car several times, but he had no luck. As he was getting ready to get out, Canfield glanced up and was shocked to see something in the road ahead of him. The creature was 9 feet tall, with bat-like wings, and had blue hair. It stared at Canfield with its piercing, glowing red eyes. The creature stood perfectly still for a few minutes, and then its fingers twitched, its wings spread fully out, and it quickly flew away. Canfield would describe his emotions as surprised, more than scared afterward. This, however, wasn't the only sighting of this monster in the state of Washington and the surrounding area. The creature has been spotted for decades and is known as the Batsquatch. Batsquatch is typically described as being a gigantic 9-foot tall humanoid with massive wings, reported to be around 20 to 30 feet across. Some reports have estimated the wingspan to be up to 50 feet. The face of the creature is said to resemble a bat or a wolf. Witnesses say the Batsquatch has sharp teeth protruding from its mouth. The eyes are reported to be glowing, either red or yellow. While Canfield's sighting garnered quite a bit of attention, the being was first documented and witnessed in 1980. On May 18, 1980, Mount St. Helens, a volcano in Washington, erupted in what would be the deadliest and costliest volcanic eruption since 1915 in the United States. Over 230 square miles around the blast zone were destroyed, and an estimated $1 billion in damage was inflicted on the surrounding community. 57 people were killed, and thousands of residents were displaced from their homes. In the days following the explosion, the air was still filled with ash. During this time, many residents of the area would report seeing a giant bat-like creature flying around the area. There were many reports of this humanoid creature, although many were dealing with the devastation and there weren't many attempts to photograph it. Witnesses would say the creature had a bat-like body with red eyes and massive, feathery wings. While the reports from the 1980s around Mount St. Helens and Canfield's report are the most well-known sightings, these aren't the only ones. Most sightings seem to occur in the remote wilderness of Washington or the Pacific Northwest, said to also be the stomping ground of Bigfoot. Sometime right after Canfield's story in 1994, a liquor store owner named Butch Whitaker alleged to see the cryptid. Whitaker stated he saw the creature in broad daylight when he was flying his plane. Batsquatch would fly alongside Butch in his plane for several minutes. Interestingly, Butch was flying over the same area that Canfield reported his sighting. Another sighting that occurred happened in 1998 with an anonymous trucker. He said the creature was 15 feet tall and had purple eyes and a purple nose with small wings. The trucker was transporting lumber in northern Oregon when he would have his encounter. In 2009, a group of individuals hiking around Mount Shasta would report seeing something strange. According to the hikers, they witnessed a massive bat-like creature fly directly out of some sort of narrow opening in the mountains. The witnesses would state the being had a head similar to a bat. On April 14th, 2014, students at Archbishop Haben High School in Akron, Ohio, alleged to see some type of creature fly by the window. There were multiple witnesses to the event, and the students would report the bat was 9 feet tall with a 30-foot wingspan. Without question, the Batsquatch has had a number of relevant sightings, and while there are numerous questions around it, it's important to point out that tales of winged humanoids exist all around the world. In addition to this, these beings or cryptids are often seen when disaster strikes. Most people are familiar with one of the most popular cryptids today, the Mothman. This creature is described as a massive humanoid with glowing red eyes and was spotted by many residents in Point Pleasant, West Virginia in 1966 and 1967. Then later, on December 15th, 1967, the Silver Bridge would collapse in rush hour traffic, killing 46 people, and soon this catastrophe would forever be linked with the Mothman. Another well-known case involving a winged humanoid involves the Blackbird of Chernobyl, a case we covered on a prior episode. Around the time of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster in 1986, a strange bird was seen by workers of the plant. Both before and after the nuclear meltdown, workers would report seeing a strange humanoid with a massive 20-foot wingspan and glowing red eyes. Some of the people who had seen the creature would report having strange, frightening dreams and terrifying phone calls even. It's reported that sightings increased, even up to the day the accident occurred. In time, this legend became to be known as the Chernobyl Blackbird. While the Batsquatch and Mothman certainly share a lot of common traits, there are numerous winged cryptids that have similarities too. One cryptid that resembles Batsquatch is a hul from Indonesia. A hul is usually described as a large bat-like monster with a monkey-like face. Some say it resembles more of a flying primate. It has large dark eyes, red skin wings, large claws, and is covered in gray fur. The hul is said to have a wingspan of 18 to 30 feet and derives its name from its distinct cry. The animal is said to be extremely territorial, and allegedly it is known to mutilate people who come into its space. Perhaps the biggest difference between the two is a hul is said to live deep in the jungles of Indonesia. It's been witnessed primarily by locals, as they are the only ones who venture deep into the jungle. Batsquatch has appeared in places a bit more populated. One other cryptid from Indonesia that has some similarities to Batsquatch is orang bati. The orang bati is typically described as a flying monkey bat-like creature that preys upon the weak, such as children and disabled adults. It is said to be about 5 feet tall, with a wingspan of around the same size. It's surely much smaller than the Batsquatch. The orang bati is said to have orange reddish colored skin, a large tail, and thick, black leathery wings. Many say the creature lets out a screeching yell when they are getting ready to attack. Orang bati means man with wings when translated into the Moluccan language. In the US, one cryptid other than the Mothman shares some similarities to Batsquatch, and that is the Van Meter Visitor. Van Meter Visitor is a winged humanoid said to have a horn protruding from its forehead that also shoots a bright light. Said to be bulletproof, the creature is reported to be 8 to 9 feet tall and capable of jumping great distances quickly and flying at incredible speeds. It is said to have a distinct, foul smell that one never forgets. There are numerous other winged cryptids around the world, and we have only explored a few in this video. That said, over time, there have been numerous theories put forth about the Batsquatch. The first is that the Batsquatch is a biological entity or undiscovered species of this planet. Could this massive predator live in caves and only come out on rare occasions? Many hope this is the case and that this species is waiting to be discovered. Some speculate that Batsquatch is a primate that developed wings. Still, this is one of the less popular theories, and it should be said, evolutionary speaking, doesn't make much sense. If this were the case, we should probably expect to find flying monkeys in other parts of the world. A second theory is that Batsquatch is extraterrestrial in nature. This is certainly possible, and we've seen many cases of people reporting cryptids like Bigfoot on UFOs. A third theory is that this creature is some sort of evil entity. Proponents of this theory point out that, like Mothman, this being seems to be spotted when disaster hits. Is this some sort of demon or other evil entity that people are spotting? The fourth theory is that this creature is from another dimension or parallel universe. There's many who believe Bigfoot actually comes from another dimension, and that's why we have never found a body. Could it be the same for Batsquatch? The final theory, and perhaps most logical explanation, is that this could have been a flying fox or fruit bat. Flying foxes are known to have a 6-foot wingspan and are the largest known bats on planet Earth. Many feel this is the most logical explanation. However, this species is not native to Washington state. It could be the case, though, that a new type of bat evolved. Maybe one not 9 feet tall, but a large one, and its size was misidentified. Looking up the theories, it appears there are a good number of them, and all could be possible. We know Batsquatch has been spotted by several, and most will quickly dismiss the sightings as just a myth or misidentification. However, we are still learning much about this planet, and it's reasonable to assume that this creature could live deep within an underground cave system. Also, it seems logical, if it exists, it would probably only come out at night, explaining why there are so few reports. Perhaps one day we will discover what this beast is, but until then, this popular cryptid will continue to be debated.